Welcome to round 2 of this 2v2 matchup. So last time it was Warriors of Chaos versus Empire, and this time, because we beat them, we picked a weaker faction, the Dwarfs, and versus a relatively strong faction, the Vampire Counts. Because I really like the Dwarves, I'm kind of fond of them. I'm trying to use them a lot, because people think the Dwarves are a weak faction, and I sort of agree, but they're also kind of interesting, and I want to be able to use them because they're fun. So, because our opponents were probably a little mad about the Lore of Death casters in the last round, they have basically brought a spam. Yeah, there's no question about it, it's a spam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Crypt Horrors on the field. 2 Lore of Death casters in that army, and 2 more in this army. So, it's basically taking the meta of the vampires and doing it all out. You can already see the balance bar is way against us. Way against us. But balance of power doesn't mean everything. It sometimes doesn't mean everything. So we have the Crypt Horrors. The reason they're so good is they're only 800 and they have poison attacks, regeneration, and AoE attacks, or area of effects attacks, because they're monsters. But because they spent so much money on all of these Crypt Horrors, they couldn't afford to put Manfred von Karstein on a dragon or the vampire on a manticore or whatever they have. So my gyrocopters have free reign over these Crypt Horrors, which is very good because these guys have a bonus for large versus large. My cannons also do have a bonus versus large, and they're doing quite a bit of damage to these Crypt Horrors. You can see they're already taking some health damage. So yeah, if you look at my army, I have some Dwarf Warriors to just hold up the flanks, some Thunderers to do as much damage as I can against those Crypt Horrors, some Dwarf Warriors, and some Longbeards just to hold up against enemy infantry, as well as the Kingslayer, Ungrim Iron Fist. My ally has some Quarrelers rather, some Ironbreakers, which are very expensive and very good against holding out infantry, but you're not going to be really fighting against infantry as the vampire counts. But this Black Coach going in, it's not really what it should be doing, just going straight into Dwarf Warriors without any support. So it's already taking damage, and it's extremely weak morale. But the Ironbreakers do have some nice blasting charges and completely flatten the entire unit. And those blasting charges look really sweet. But these skeleton warriors are very cheap and just soak up the missile fire. And then what's great about this combination is that the Crypt Horrors attack the Ironbreakers, but all of the attacks of the Ironbreakers go onto the skeleton warriors. And also the Ironbreakers don't have a chance to surround the Crypt Horrors, which is really how monsters die quickly. So you can see that strategy being put in effect, and these Oregon guns hardly got to fire at all. They only have... oh, they have 24 kills. But these are probably against low-value targets like the Skeleton Warriors. So the Crypt Horrors are going up against my guys, the Longbeards here as well. But you'll notice these Crypt Horrors are not supported by infantry. And that's a pretty big difference, because all of the attacks of these Longbeards will go against the Crypt Horrors. Also have some more Longbeards here. But there's a huge flanking component here. And I didn't realize that these Black Knights were in my rear. I probably should have set these Dwarf Warriors that were pretty much doing nothing to help my thunders here. But I was kind of blind to that. So my cannons have done. You can see how quickly these Crypt Horrors are dropping to these cannon and these gyrocopters, which are doing a lot of damage. So yeah, these cannons are very effective against Crypt Horrors because they have a bonus versus large. And they're already disintegrating. So that's one Crypt Horrors down. I'm very confident taking down more. So yeah, as you can see, the Brimstone gun took down 2 Crypt Horrors with that shot. And these Thunders are getting some really good volleys in. But then they charge straight into my Thunders. And although they won't kill them very well, because my Thunders are very tough, they will stop them from firing, which is very... I really need those guys. So I try to intercept them as much as I can, but they've already stopped them from firing. And of course, to put on more of the cheese of the meta of this game, they have to put on Fate Immune on my Longbeards. But these Brimstone guns are doing so much damage to these Crypt Horrors. And these Crypt Horrors are taking another Crypt Horrors down, and these guys are wavering as well. But, however, my ally is in a dire situation. He did not have the same build as I did. Brought some very expensive Iron Breakers as opposed to more units and then tying them up. So he got absolutely wrecked by this very meta build by the vampires. So that wasn't so good. I'm getting outflanked, but you can see I pushed them back, and now I'll have more opportunities to fire with my Thunders. And these Oregon... I keep calling them Oregon guns. These cannons are at point blank still doing damage because they can fire over the heads of my very short dwarves into these huge Crypt Horrors, which is an advantage of... which is a disadvantage of the Crypt Horrors. But they are pushing through. I don't have many troops, and the vampires just have so many fodder units, and they're just able to push through my guys, find gaps. I'm trying to shoot in these Crypt Horrors as much as I can and help out my ally, but it's too late. These Iron Breakers are very good, but they will not hold up against, I don't know, 5 units of Crypt Horrors here. And the Black Coach in there as well. So I am keeping these Black Knights off my Black Lines. But more Fate of Buna. Could you cheese more? Could you cheese harder? I mean, they were probably pissed about our Lord of Death, but I mean, come on, you're fighting the Empire. What else do you do? Brimstone guns doing some nice HP damage against the Crypt Horrors, and you can see the effectiveness of the vampires once they blob everything together. So, not going so great. Balance of power is shifted even further down. If we would have been able to kill these vampire people, it would have been a much different story. But we had nothing to kill their lords with. So I'm dropping my bombs with the gyrocopters, getting as many kills as I can. These guys with their eye patches looking really cool in their helicopters. But it's 2 pockets of resistance, not much against the blob of vampires. This is it's a party. It is an absolute party. So now that my gyrocopters have run out of ammo, they're gonna go into melee. They won't do much damage, but they will kill these skeleton warriors. Boom! What the heck? The camera's going crazy. I didn't realize that gyrocopters were that stunning. But a very... I was surprised at how well the gyrocopters did, and all of this build in general did against these Crypt Horrors. I took out quite a few of them. And here's Undrim going up against Manfred, getting stabbed in the back by the gyrocopter. Oh, and it goes down in a blaze, literally, of glory. Oh, Ungrim died. The poor sap. To the vampire. Probably to the kiss of death as well. So now it's just the unkillable Ungrim, the second unkillable Ungrim, trying to face off all of the Crypt Horrors. But yeah, this dwarf build almost, I couldn't say almost beat them off because they had plenty left. But if I had protected my backlines better, and I don't know, things could have gone differently, especially if their lords had died. But Manfred's full health, so I don't imagine how that would have happened. We can still see Ungrim fighting to the death, but well, no, you can't see him because the Crypt Horrors are standing over his body. So round 2 goes to our opponents. Probably just because they were spamming and they were kind of mad about the last round. Just Lord of Death.